we have, you can move it around, right? And that's basically what we do when we play in position on the guitar. A position is the span of 4 to 5 frets that are covered when you put your hand on the fretboard, and that's sort of how we organize stuff. So if I have, for example, like here, this is third position. Third position means my first finger is positioned at the third fret, and then in this area I can play different stuff. And then you can move the position around and it changes the key. So I can play that same thing, Happy Birthday, in third position. I can play it in fifth position. And I can play it up into seventh position. And one of the things that's different about the guitar versus the piano is on the guitar, when you change a key, like if you go from C major to D flat, the fingerings are the same. So it's good in a way that you don't have to learn a whole bunch of different fingerings for the different keys. Whereas on the piano, as you know,
like G, which has an F sharp.
Right, and you have to acknowledge that as one of the black keys, right? On the guitar, you just shift up. So if I'm playing here, see, right? If I just slide it up D flat, which is a completely different key signature, on the piano it's going to have plenty of black keys. It's going to look completely different in terms of the fingering. On the guitar, right? And then I move it up, it's the same pattern, the same shape. So because of that, it's very easy to sort of, it's easy to get in the habit of learning to play in different keys but not really knowing the music theory behind it. Whereas the as the piano, it forces you to, you have to learn, when you're playing an F major, that key signature has one flat, which if you remember is B flat. If you're playing in G major, you're going to have, in the key signature, there's going to be one sharp, and that's F sharp. And you have to acknowledge that, and you have to change your fingering on the piano. So it's a different fingering pattern that you have to learn. Whereas on the guitar, you literally can just slide it up to a different position, which is good. It's good for some things, and that's why it's important to really know your theory in other ways. The other thing about the guitar, there's many things that are different. On the piano, you only have one middle C. Same thing with the trombone, with the saxophone, with different instruments. On the guitar, you have, depending on the scale or the length of the neck, you have as many as 5. So here we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And if the scale of the fretboard goes higher, you could have more. So it's the same note, the same pitch, but in different places. So that makes it a little bit more challenging when you're mapping out how to play complicated stuff and reading stuff. So does that make sense? Do you have any questions, anything thus far, or anything about the guitar versus the piano? How many years piano did you do? Do you remember?
6.
Oh, cool. Okay, great. Cool. All right, so this is just a little chart here that you can use as a reference, right? It's essentially a diagram of, these are chords. If you learn all of these chords, and there's not that many here, as you can see, there's, what do you get, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16. So you get 23 chords. If you learn these, you'll be able to play 80 to 90% of all popular music, which is pretty cool. You don't need to learn a lot to play the majority of popular music. So that's a good thing in that way. You don't have to do a whole lot of work to get that. This right here is a diagram of the fretboard, right? So it's like if you were to take a picture, like this. Now the strings that we have, right, we got 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. So this right here is the low E string, or number 6. You got 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. And this is the bottom string or the low string. It's the lowest note that you can get on the guitar in standard tuning, which is tuned E, A, D, G, B, E. That's just how it's configured and tuned. And then this is the highest open string, the high E, right? So as you can, what do you notice about the strings, like the way that this string is versus that?
Thinner.
Right. So the thinner the string, the higher the pitch, and the fatter the string, the lower the pitch. In terms of going across this way, if we play the E string here and we go up, the higher we go up the fretboard, the higher the pitch. Basically what happens, so from here to here, this is, when I play here at the 12th fret, I'm basically cutting the string in half. So the shorter you make the string, the higher the pitch goes, essentially. So we have 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and then the names of those strings are E, A, D, G, B, E, right? Now there's a good way that we can remember that, right? So we have, so Eddie ate dynamite. Goodbye, Eddie. It's a little silly acronym. I know, it's very silly. But it's a good way to remember it. So that's a good way to remember the names of these notes. Now, in terms of, one of the things about the guitar that's it's challenging is each hand is doing a completely different function. On the guitar, or on the piano, when you, even though you may be playing different parts, your left hand may be playing bass parts or chords, and your right hand will be playing melodies or intervals in the higher register. Even though that's different stuff, it's still sort of the same function primarily. It's a percussive type of function. On the guitar, we have a fretting hand here, which is doing a specific, specialized task. And then in this hand, whether we play with our fingers, or if we play with our thumb, or if we play with a pick, it's a completely different task. So the coordination between the two is difficult, and that's one of the big challenges of learning the guitar. So what we're going to do here is I want you to get in the habit of using the pick first. And this is a standard guitar pick. That's a heavy guitar pick. And technical name for that is it's a plectrum. It's something that you use to pluck the string. So the way that we hold the pick, right, is if you imagine if you're gonna like shake somebody's hand. So if you have the pick on the table, yeah. So if you're gonna, right, yeah. So you hold your hand out like that, and then just straight out like that, and then you were to make a fist, right? Like you change your mind, right? And then we put the pick in here. Yeah. So kind of straight. There you go. Yeah, and not too. Good, that's good. So what you want to do is you just want to hold it firm enough so it doesn't fall when you're strumming. It's got to be nice and you want to keep your wrist nice and light. Like any sport, I mean, when you're a musician, it's similar to being an athlete, but you're using smaller, more specialized muscle groups. So just like with soccer or football, you don't want to do something with your body which causes a lot of tension, because that can lead to injury, it can lead to tendonitis, other stuff like that. So you always want to try to keep your body relaxed. So right hand, you want to keep it, yeah, there you go. So now if we take this hand, left hand, and just gently touch the strings just to sort of muffle them, and then just strum, good. So we just, these are, there you go, good. And move it a little bit over the sound hole. Yeah, so this is the sound hole, just to get back to the anatomy. This is the sound hole on the guitar. When you strum the strings, the vibrations, the sound comes out of the hole. This black thing is called the pick guard. Originally, it was designed to protect the top of the guitar from aggressive strumming, so you don't scratch it, but it's become more of like an aesthetic thing. This over here, that is the bridge, the black piece of wood, right? This is the saddle. The strings go across the saddle just like a saddle would go across a horse, and the bridge connects this part of the guitar to the body of the guitar. These are your they're basically your string pins, and when you change the strings, you pop that out, you put the string in there, put that in there, and then you string it up over here. And that's essentially the anatomy of the guitar, right? So when we're strumming, you get different sounds depending on where you're strumming, right? So if you strum back here, if you're just strumming the open strings, now how does that sound compared to further up?
It's really different.
Yeah, so like for example, if you strum here and then I strum here, sounds how would you describe this sound? If you're like strum way back by the bridge. Go ahead, strum way back by the bridge. As far back as you can go, like, yeah, so how does that sound to you?
This one is like, I don't know, it's just like different. It's
Okay.
a different noise.
Right. Well, how would you describe, if you had to describe the difference?
It's like a different kind of, like, this one is
You can
more
use,
metallic.
okay, good. A lot of times with music, the same sort of terms that we use when we're talking about color, like shading, light and dark, bright, warm, temperature, you can use. So for example, this would be described by a lot of musicians or guitarists as a very bright sound. It's very like bright, kind of jumps out, whereas this is darker, less metallic. So a good place, I mean, you can get different sounds depending on what style of music you're playing or what you're going for in terms of your musical or artistic decision, by where you strum along the guitar. If you strum here above the sound hole, yeah, that's like a good place to split the difference. It's not too dark, it's not too bright. So now what we're gonna do is with the left hand, in terms of the position where you want to fret a note, right? So what we want to do is you take your first finger, right, and we're gonna play the third fret, right? So we got 1, 2, 3 on the first string. So if you remember, we got 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Right? Okay. So very good. So what we want to do, the position you want to have your thumb back here. You want to be up on your fingertips, and when we fret the note, we don't want to be right on top of the fret. We want to be right behind it. We want to be up on our fingertips, and you only want to apply enough pressure to get a sound, right? And then, so you're fretting the sixth string, or sorry, the first string, third fret. Good, there you go. All right, so that note right there, the third fret, that is G. And that position looks good. You want to keep your thumb back here. So what we're going to do is we're going to have you play Mary Had a Little Lamb, right? Do you like that song? Not really. But it's a good basic first song. So one of the ways that we learn songs on the guitar is through tablature, right? Tablature is essentially, it's a linear diagram of the strings going across like this, right? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, right? So you got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And then these numbers here, these represent the frets, right? 2, 4, 2, 2, 2, 4, 7, 7, 4, 2, open 2, 4, 4, 4, 4, 2, 5, 4, 2. Right, so this is essentially tablature right here, right? And these numbers here on the side, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, these represent the strings, right? And remember, the first string, just do a little bit of review. By the way, you're doing great. Do you have any questions thus far? I know it's a lot of information. And see, it's great because you have your piano, your years of studying piano, so a lot of this is going to come easy to you. And you may find that, I have a feeling that you'll be able to learn and pick up stuff really quick. So remember, the first string is your high string, sixth string is the low, right? So there you go. So you want to just give that a stab. Remember, when you fret, take a look here. Can you see? So you want to be up high like that, and essentially the location on your fingertips that you want to aim for. See these marks here? That's where you want to aim. So it's a small area on your fingertip, and you want to make sure that you're up on your fingertips. There you go.
Did you like have something prepared? Because it starts at 4, so 4.
Right.
And then
Yep. And then there you go.
Right.
So the first, there you go. Good. So all you want to do is you want to try to push down a little harder, and you're picking this up without me even telling you. You're actually using the most logical set of fingerings. So on the guitar, just to give you an idea, this is a little diagram of your left hand. Right, so the finger numbers that we have here, 1, 2, 3, 4, and then you got TT, which we'll call that tom thumb, whatever your thumb. So if you hold up your left hand, right, you got, there you go. So you got 1, 2, 3, 4. Good, and that's looking pretty good. Your positioning is really great for your first lesson. I mean, that's really good. And again, the reason why we play in a position is it's logical, right? If I have to play, like if I have to do that with one finger, my arm would be moving so fast it would fall off. It's just inefficient. So what we do is we play in position, right? And again, position is the span of 4 to 5 frets, right? So we can slide it around, and we can play, right? Or whatever we do, we can move it all around. So in terms of the fingering, you actually want to play the 4th fret with the 3rd finger. And this song technically would be in 2nd position, which means your first finger is at the 2nd fret. Yeah, and when we say play in position, it doesn't mean that you can jump out of that position, but it's essentially each finger is assigned to the fret that's below it. But you will invariably jump out of position. Even on Mary Had a Little Lamb. So I'm going to play most of this in 2nd position, right? Which means my first finger's at the 2nd fret. Now here, to go up to the 7th fret, which is here, I'm going to slide up. So I slid out of position just there, and then I go back down.
So it's like moving your hand.
Yeah, it's moving your hand. You're moving your hand out of position. And the whole point with position playing is it's just to make things efficient. So when you want to play fast stuff, you don't get tired. And essentially, the guitar is organized with the positions around those spans, those 4 to 5 fret little distances or frames. And that's how we learn scales and chords and different things like that. That make sense? Anything unclear, or you're picking the stuff up really quick, which is great. You want to try it. So if you may even be able to just hear it by ear. There you go. Good. Excellent. And then slide up to 7, which is here. Right behind. Right there you go. Right there. Right up behind the fret. Excellent. And back down to 4. 4, and then 2. 2. 4, 2. Now here we're going to use a pinky, which is the 4th finger, and that's the weakest of the finger. There you go.
Why would you use that?
And 4. And then down here to 2. And get it. And open. Really good. Great job. Yeah, that's really, you progress really, really quickly. That's an interesting question. You're like, why would you use your pinky? Because it is weaker. There's actually some famous guitar players. One of the founders of the jazz guitar style, who was actually a Belgian gypsy named Django Reinhardt, and his style, he would only play. He actually had these two fingers. This is back in the 1930s in Europe.
He only played with these two.
Well, what happened is he was a gypsy, and the gypsies would travel around in these caravans. And there was a caravan fire that his family was involved in his family caravan when he was a young man. His wife had been making these candles with like wax paper and stuff like that, and it caught fire in the night, so he had to rescue. He got his family out, but while he did that, he severely burned his fretting hand. And what happened was these two fingers were literally fused together. So he actually only had these two, and this was like this weird gnarled claw. But what's amazing is he developed a phenomenal technique with just these two fingers. Now, a lot of the style of jazz guitar playing that developed out of him, players would not use their pinky at all. They would just use these three fingers. Now, more modern players like Alan Holdsworth, Jimi Hendrix, Pat Metheny, Eric Clapton, it's like it doesn't make sense not to use this finger. It's like right there. It's illogical not to use it because it's just weaker. You have to train it, and we do exercises to train it. Just things like there's all sorts of exercises that we do to strengthen the fingers, but it doesn't make sense not to use it because it's right here. Like it doesn't make sense not to use it. So, but it's definitely the most finicky of the fingers, and it's weak. Okay, great. So why don't you try that again? Maybe we can try Happy Birthday, which is harder. And then you won't have to, what's good about learning Happy Birthday, you never have to get anybody a birthday present again. You can just play them Happy Birthday on the guitar, and they'll be like, that's the coolest thing ever, right? I mean, I'm half kidding. You should buy your friends and your family and your girlfriend birthday presents if you don't want to, So yeah, try that again. There you go.
I lift my fingers too far.
I'm sorry?
I lift my fingers too far away and I can't get them back.
Yeah, so everything's looking good. If you can, just for the lesson, if you can put that foot on the ground, yeah, there you go. So position-wise, and your position is looking really, really good. So so this is what you want, sort of right here, and your left hand needs to be like that. Good, that's looking really good. Yeah. So you don't need to remove them too far from the fretboard. If you can if you can put that down, there you go. So you want to move this out more, so you're at more of a right angle to the fretboard. Like take a look here.
Perpendicular.
Yeah, like you see how you can. There's sort of a right angle here. Actually, no. See how you see the right angle there? There's also one here. In terms of the relationship to the fretboard, you want to avoid being like this. You want to be up high like that. You don't want to be like this, right? So you want to be in between. So if you can, let's see if you can just, let's see. There you go. That's better. Okay. You can try to get your elbow off your knee, or if you can put that just flat, just to see how like if you have that like. There, or even more, like there you go. Yeah, that's better. Then you see when you pivot this, it puts you up. Yeah, like check it out. Like take a look at this. If I go like that, when you bring your elbow out like that, it brings you higher up, and you want to be up high. So yeah, cool. All right, take it nice and slow. No rush. So right here, remember you want to be up right up behind the fret. There you go. Right up on, yeah, good. Nice. here's where we slide up to 7. Good, and then back down. There you go. Oh. 4, 2, 5 with your pinky. There you go. Yeah, great job. It's really good. So there you go. Now you're playing Mary Had a Little Lamb. Did you think that you were going to be playing a song on the guitar before you started? So even though it's sort of a dumb song, it's still a song, you know. We can try Happy Birthday is a little bit more challenging, and the reason why is this song,
Does it use multiple strings?
Yeah, exactly. So this song is easy, Mary Had a Little Lamb, because it's just on, I mean, there's a bunch of beginner songs we can do just on one string, but you progress so quickly, I think we can skip the ones that are doing 2 strings. Happy Birthday is on 3 strings, but it's the same idea, and we can do it in the same position. We can do it wherever. So right now, when we're doing Mary Had a Little Lamb down here, so Happy Birthday, it's the same position, which your first finger is at the 2nd fret. There you go. Yeah. Now, this is harder because it's across 3 strings. So remember what we said before. One of the challenges of the guitar versus other musical instruments is you have to coordinate 2 completely different skill sets or tasks in each hand. So this is going to be trickier because you're jumping across strings with this hand and this hand. So for Happy Birthday, and let's try, see if we can, I'm going to see, because your ears are really good from piano. I have a feeling you may even be able to just pick this up just from watching me without it, because I don't think you even need the tablature for this basic stuff, which is great. If you stuck with the guitar, you could become really good very quickly, you know, if you wanted to, which is a good thing. So here we're going to start first finger in 2nd position, but it's going to be on the 3rd string. Right? So it's going to be here. Yeah. So the first 2 notes, I'm going to go Happy Birthday. So you're going to go from 2 up to 4, nice and slow. Try doing, when you pick, try doing just downstrokes. Down. Good, great, perfect. You got it. Oh, okay. Now the next 2 notes, right, are right here. So we're going to go up to the 2nd string, and we're going to go 3, 2. Right. So boom, that 3rd fret. Good, and then back down to here. So now we go back down to here. Boom, boom. Just keep an eye on that hand. There you go. Boom. Boom. And back up to 4. There you go. Boom. Back to 2. And then now here we're gonna, with our pinky, we're gonna go to you, 5th fret.
On which, this one?
Yep. And then here with the 2nd fret. There you go. Good. So you just played 1/3 of the song, right? So basically, if we just break it up, and it's like anything else. When you identify patterns, it helps your brain get a sense of what's going on quicker. So just 3 sections really to that tune. That's what you first played. And then we have you could say the 2nd section, right? And then the 3rd section. So let's try just the 1st section again. Right here, and I'll play it. Just watch me. Watch what I'm doing here. There's my thumb is staying back here, and then. So the tricky part again is when we got to use our pinky. So we start here. Boom, boom. Take that. There you go. Nice. The 3rd string. Watch your right hand. There you go. third string. Make sure that the note you're fretting in your left hand, or the string you're fretting in your left hand, is the same that you're picking in your right hand. Good. Now here's where we go. Pinky, 5th fret. Oh. And then, there you go. Good. So, really good. So. So try that again, see if you can remember that. Remember to be up on your fingertips, and there you go. Try it a little slower. Oh,
I lost.
there you go. And you're gonna go 2-1. Nice, great job, great. There you go. Happy 3rd string. Oh, there you go. Nice. That's really good positioning, but make sure you're not on top of the fret. That's how you want it to be. You want to be right behind it. Cool. Okay, great job. So that's the first section. And then the second section, happy birthday, dear Carson, right? So here we're going to be doing a jump up to the first string, right? So the first 2 notes are going to be on the 3rd string, right? So we're going to go, and you can do it all down strokes. Nice and so down. Right? Now here's where we got to be careful, because we're on the 2nd fret of the 3rd string, and then we want to jump up with our pinky to the 5th fret of the 1st string. So there you go. Yep, looking good. Nice. Good. And now we're going to go to here. So here we get this is going to go here, and we're going to take that off.
So it's
and up here, boom, play that one. Oh, and then 1st string, there you go. And now you're going to play 2nd fret, 1st string, 2nd fret, there you go. Good. And now you're going to go 2nd fret, 2nd string, and now 2nd fret, 2nd string, and then with the 3rd finger, yep, 4th fret, 3rd string, there you go. Good. And now, so now we're going to go up here. So this is going to be there you go. 3rd fret, 1st string, happy, and now back here, and then right here. Oh, there you go. Boom, and pinky, remember the pinky up 5th fret, 2nd string, 2, and then back down. There you go. Good, so that's the 2nd and 3rd parts, right? So we got 3 parts, right? Happy birthday to you, happy birthday to you. And then the 3rd, right? 2nd part, and then, so let's try the part where it jumps. So let's try. And you're picking up this up super quick, which is great. You're sure this is your first lesson?
Yeah.
Nice. Maybe you're just a genius. Oh, here we go, down here. Remember, try not to slide. You want to stay in position. There you go. And then, there you go. And now, 2nd fret, 2nd string. And then, there you go. Good. And then, up here. Bum, bum. Oh. Bum, bum. Bum. Boom. Boom. Now pinky up on the 5th fret, 2nd string. Excellent. Yeah, buddy.
What's the last one?
Okay, you want to have your, it's the, right here. Boom. There you go. Good. All right, try doing that from memory, the whole thing. Now, a couple of things before you do it. Try it nice and slow, and you want to keep your first finger stationed at the second fret, right? And the only time you're really stretching is with the pinky. Good. Now we're going up to second string.
This?
Yeah, third fret though. Third fret with your second finger. Good. Yep. And now first fret. Good. Then back to the third string, second fret. There you go. And then fifth fret, second string. Oh. And now with your second finger, you're going to play the third fret, second string. There you go. Good. Bom, bom. Here's where you jump pinky, fifth fret on the first string. There you go. And then second fret, first string. Oh, almost. Now third fret, second string with your second finger. Second finger. There you go. And then second fret, second string, first finger. And now fourth fret, third string, third finger. Oh, there you go. Yep, you got it. Okay, and now third fret, first string with your second finger. So third fret, there you go. Yep, second finger, good. Bum, bum. Lift off your third finger. There you go. Bum, bum. And now second fret, first string, first finger. Okay, and now third fret, second string with your second finger. Yep. And now, yep, you got it. Oh, not too high, not too high. Second string, there you, second string, not third, there you go. And now third fret with your second finger. Same string, third fret with your second finger. Great. All right, now try doing the whole thing without me telling you anything, which I think you could do. How are your fingers? Are they hurting? They feel like it all sore? Here, let's take a break for a second. You're doing really good. High five. Nice. Yeah. You're picking it up really quick. You could learn really fast. So here, just go like that. Yeah, and that's really good because normally, I mean, you're a little bit older, but my younger students, I recommend nylon strings. The steel strings, they kind of cut into your fingers so they can hurt a little bit. Yeah, so these are steel strings here. And then the lower strings, the thicker strings, it's steel, but there's a bronze or copper wire wound around it. With this guitar here, it's the same principle. You have steel strings, and instead of bronze or copper, it's a nickel wire. So it's a different type of alloy that's wound around it. Nylon strings they're all like, whereas instead of steel strings, where half of them are not wound, and then the lower, thicker strings are wound with copper, bronze, or nickel. The nylon strings, they're nylon, and then the lower strings are wound with copper, bronze, or nickel. So they're softer. The high...
So then it's like nicer on your finger.
It's easier. The sound is also, again, we're talking about bright versus dark. The sound is also, it's softer, it's mellower. Classical guitars, which is quiet and mellow and pretty sounding, have nylon strings. So they're a thicker string, it's warmer, it's darker, it's less bright, less tinny, less metallic. Electric guitars like this, this type of guitar is called a dreadnought, which is, it's a big sized steel string acoustic guitar. And these guitars you find a lot in country music, bluegrass, folk, rock and roll, and they have a big booming sound. So the high E string, which is here, the B string and the G string, or just the top three strings on a guitar like this or an electric guitar, you know, the string's thin and it can kind of sort of cut into your fingers until you develop calluses, and once you do, then it's not a big deal. But it's a lot easier than, for example, playing like a cello or an upright bass. That's a lot more wear on the fingers initially until you get used to it and build up calluses. So, all right, great job. Let's try doing see if you can do the whole thing from memory. And if you need any clues, I'll give you some hints. Oop, wait, second finger. There you go. Nice. Oh. Okay, so
Is
fifth,
that right?
almost. You're 1 fret lower than you need to be. So with your pinky, so the second part, right? So everything was good. So you got this part right. Now the second part is 5-3, but on the second string. So here you go. Yep.
That's
And then yep. I'll write this out in tabs so you'll have it. Birth. Oh, there you go. Make sure you're picking the right string you're fretting. Second fret, first string. Oh.
wait.
Right here.
Oh, that's
And now you're going to be 3rd fret, 2nd string with your second finger. Oh, a little higher. Bum, bum. And then that down to here. Bum. Oh, right here. Oh, take that off.
wait.
Okay. Second finger, 3rd fret, 2nd string. And 5th fret, 2nd string. Good. And then, oh, yep. Good. Great. 2, 3, 2, 4, 3, 3, 2. So let's just take a look at this here. That was really good. Try it again just from here. I'm gonna play it and just watch me. I'm gonna play it slow. Yeah, if you can see over my shoulder. Can you see over my shoulder?
Mm-hmm.
All right. So take a note of this position here. Right. Okay. See, I'm up high. Right. Now. See how I'm all right here, the second position? Each finger plays the fret that's right underneath it, right? Okay, now I'll do it again. Okay, now from watching me do that, try to do that from memory. Because you got a good musical memory, and you can use that as a very valuable tool when you're learning music. Oop. 2, 3, 2. So here you want to have with your pinky. Do you want to refer to this? So this is just like when we were reading the tablature with Mary Had a Little Lamb. The only difference is Mary Had a Little Lamb is just on one string, the high E string or the first string, right? So we got E, just so you know, this E, A, D. You can sort of get a sense of this. G, B, E. I apologize that my writing is not neater. A, D, G, B, M. So these are the names of the notes and these are the strings. So the important thing with this song versus the last one, Carson, is just keep in mind the string that you're picking with your right hand, it has to be the same string that you're fretting with your left. Remember, you want to aim for right in this area here. Good. Good. Oh. 3, 2, nice. Now here. Second string. Try doing downstrokes, just down. Oh, a little higher. A little higher. There you go. And then there you go. Good. All right, and now the second section. 2, 2, 2, 2, 5. Oh.
Oh, it's not.
Try doing just downstrokes. Try not. That's good though that you seem to be not having any difficulty with the upstrokes, which is good. Good. Great. Wow, you learn really quick. Try doing a downstroke. So instead of doing this, which is okay, but for now, I just want you to focus on downstrokes, just because you want to learn that first, right? So, and when we're doing the downstrokes, you just try to strum straight down, not away. Just that looks good. Yeah. It'll force you to play slower and more kind of thoughtful. Oh, a little higher. Great. Okay, there you go. All right, great job. That's happy birthday. I'm gonna try it one more time. I won't help you at all. See if you can do it. Carson's gonna play some happy birthday for us, even though it's none of our birthdays right now, right? There you go. Nice. All right. Bravo. Great job. So that was really good.